I'm going to be live November 10th, 7 p.m., having a talk and social mixer at Brea Civic and Community Center at 7 p.m. And the topic is something dear to a lot of people's hearts. It is Riches Without Limits, Invincible You. How to attract your inner power and achieve your heart's desires. We're going to be having a very fascinating discussion, interactive and fun event, where we're going to delve into the idea of being invincible in your mind. Invincibility, I call it continual personal elevation, getting better every day, and immunity to negativity. We know in psychology that people have what's called mood contagion. You can walk into a group of negative people and you start to feel that way. Or you can create your own inner atmosphere where you will be powerful regardless of the external environment. You can be content, happy, and joyful. We'll be developing this in the talk on the special evening. We're going to learn how to transform your reservoir of the weakness, the negative thoughts inside your mind, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, into a reservoir of invincibility, positivity. You can do it, you can succeed. You will learn how to develop unstoppable relationships by extending loving energy without expectation, and also how to develop the mind of riches, the mind of generosity, by seeing money as loving money energy. You express money through the form of love in many ways. You do something you love for work, you receive this thing called money, and then you transfer it to other people and places, also with love to receive what they have to offer as well. So you circulate money and it comes back to you. You develop the mind of riches through this method. So again, join us on this special free event, by the way. I'm doing this for the community. To get to know you guys, I'll be there to answer questions, sign books. Again, we'll be at the Brea Civic Community Center, November 10th, 7 p.m., 1 Civic Center Circle, Brea, California, Room A, second floor upstairs. You will meet like-minded invincibility seekers that will be available to meet everyone there and build a community of people that have the desire to be invincible and to have love. In the end, you will learn how to stand as a rock, how to break your chains, how to be invincible forever. Again, Dr. Avila here. See you there at the Riches Without Limits, Invincible You event. Click on the link below, and we'll see you soon. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Alex Avila with Love University, and we're back. I'm an author, psychologist, and speaker. Every week we talk about how to love ourselves, others, and a higher nature, how to improve our finances, career, health, relationships, and spirituality. And the day is finally here. It's election time. Millions of people throughout the U.S. and the world are eagerly anticipating the results of the election. But today's topic is interesting because it's a little bit different. It is called election anxiety. Do you have it, and what to do about it? Election anxiety is having a great deal of stress from uncertainty and having a great deal of emotional intensity about the outcome of a political campaign, election, or issues. Now, today's social media society is 24 hours a day. People are constantly bombarded with news and different information on your phone and internet about politics, especially around this time of the year. And a lot of people become anxious. Some people have excitement, but also frustration, hope, but also fear. So we're going to talk about that, and if it affects you, how you can deal with this election anxiety. One issue that comes up is what we'll call expectancy. In psychology, that means anticipating something's going to happen that will impact you directly. In this case, the results of the election. And some people talk about rewards and punishments. So if your candidate wins or loses, what's going to happen? Are you going to have more or less security, more or less safety, more or less freedom, more or less advancement, whether it's financial or culture or otherwise? And people are affected by this to a large extent. The other thing that is also an important factor in election psychology is political engagement. How engaged are you with a particular party, a candidate, an issue? How invested are you? Emotionally invested. If you strongly identify with a candidate or a position, you might have the idea that your social position is at stake, your personal life. Something about you, even your identity, can suffer if your position or candidate loses, or if you win, you will feel better perhaps. But there is a lot of anxiety for certain people that have this very intense political engagement. The idea of being powerless because you can't control the outcome of these big things that happen in life, these uncertain outcomes in elections. Another factor that comes into play nowadays is the continuous flow of information. As I mentioned, we have social media, we have internet, we have on our cell phones, notifications, things pop up, where we constantly see the results or polls or things are happening in these kind of elections and campaigns. And that can be too much for a lot of people. it can overwhelm you. And the pressure to stay informed can be a problem because it emotionally impacts you. You feel overburdened by all the stuff that's going on. So if this is happening to you, what are some steps that you can take to be more calm, more peaceful, and relaxed? And to protect yourself from election anxiety. Number one is limit your media consumption. Some people spend all day or quite a bit of the day looking at news items and other things related to the politics and the election. So you can say to yourself, okay, I'm going to check it maybe an hour a day or 30 minutes or whatever period of time. I'm going to limit my consumption of political news so I don't become overly invested in it and maybe overly anxious. Take breaks from campaign coverage news. Number two, focus on what you can control. For example, go out and vote. Get involved in a campaign, maybe volunteer, and or talk to people you know, friends, and talk about the issues as well. It's very important for you to be involved in active problem solving so you have a sense of control over what you can do. And finally, try what is known as mindfulness or relaxation. Meditate. And it's not just something that is a spiritual practice, but it can be a practice that you do for your health, your self-esteem, and your confidence. Let's try this. Close your eyes right now. Imagine you're in a beautiful place, maybe a beach. Visualize the colors you see, maybe the blue ocean, the blue sky. Take an inhale of breath. What do you smell? Maybe the salt air. And what do you feel in terms of your fingers? Maybe the sand. What do you hear? The sounds of the waves. And your emotion. Maybe it's calm, peaceful, at ease. Do this exercise maybe 10 to 15 minutes every day. This idea of imagining you're in a beautiful place, relaxed, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and learn how to be in the present. So if you do these three things I'm mentioning here, limit your consumption of a lot of political news, get active, participate, and try mindfulness, some form of relaxation, you'll start to have more control of your own response to life events, world events, and political events. You will be more calm, peaceful, and relaxed. Now, given this knowledge, I'm going to go on right now. I'm going to talk to some people in the area and ask them, what is your level of emotional anxiety for the election? What is your psychological response to everything that's going on? So I'm very curious to find out. Dr. Alex, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, we're doing this show on basically, some people have election anxiety. Like, regardless of who wins or loses, they may fear, they may have hope. What's your feeling? Do you have any election anxiety?
No, I wouldn't say anxiety. A little indifferent at this point, not necessarily as pertains to a candidate or anything like that.
Yes.
But just as the general sort of emotional and psychological outlook of it.
Yes.
I've gotten over that sort of anxiety-ridden phase that a lot of people go through. And I can understand where a lot of people come from. Mm-hmm. I often find it stems from some level of ignorance. A lot of it, just psychologically speaking.
Yes.
And people who start treating the politics side of it more like a team sport, like the betting side of it, right?
Yes.
There's no real anxiety if it's just some team you're not super interested in at all. They're just playing a football game.
Exactly.
And you're just watching to watch. But all of a sudden, if you've got 10 grand on the line, and it's your home team and all this, and then you've got a little bit more stakes in the game. So, of course, there's going to be a certain level of anxiety that's going to be correlated to that.
Exactly. Great point. We talk about identification, putting your own personal esteem into the results.
Right.
I mean, you think of the Dodgers and the Yankees, right? Now, obviously, you're in California. And by the way, you have a beautiful cigar shop here.
Thank you.
Cigar spots. So you're the manager, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But if someone comes here and says, I hate the Dodgers, and you love the Dodgers, right? What could happen?
I mean, it all depends on the person. Me personally, I don't have a huge investment in the Dodgers, so.
But if you did, let's say I did. I hate cigars. They told you.
Oh, and then I'd look at them and be like, "Well, what are you doing here?"
Okay,
the wrong shop.
Only cigarettes, right? So then there'd be a problem, right? Because they're different things.
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of again, it depends on the person.
Yes.
Like a good example would be I have another guy who works here. We pretty much run this spot.
Yes.
And he's a little more gruff. He's a little more Texas sort of Midwestern, just going buy this and get out of here sort of attitude.
Gruffer.
So, yeah, exactly. Yes. So to certain people, that would seem a little more standoffish. Or a little put off if it was something they didn't necessarily agree with.
But it sounds like you're more cool, like either way. Or,
a lot of the time, like
you don't identify too strongly with one side.
Nowadays, I would say I lean more Republican if I had to pick a side.
For now,
especially for now, just kind of how things have shifted.
Right, but if they lose, are you going to be crying and pissed off and nothing like that?
No.
Okay. So you'll just take life as it comes.
Exactly.
And why is that? Because you're not emotionally to invest it in one side or the other.
Exactly. Well, so emotional side of it, yes. I like to keep the emotions out of the politics and try and look at things objectively,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
And with that, that's kind of the current problem, I'd say, with most people now is they're
Sure.
not looking at things objectively. They're looking at it through their lens of bias, right? So there's whether one side or the other, they're kind of like everybody. You're drawn toward the things that you believe and you're attracted to,
Right.
and you stray away from the things that are foreign to you. Just generally speaking.
Yes.
Of course, there are variations based on the personality,
Right.
but generally, so we've seen that. Probably
But,
no more.
but in your case, would you say you're not that attached or identified with the
No. I'd
side?
say a little more serious about it now. I
little
would say
bit.
if someone were to ask, "Oh, what's your political position?" I'd say, "Oh, I'm a Republican."
Okay, but you're not going to wake up in the morning sad or angry if you lose, or ecstatic if you win.
No, more realistically.
So you're pretty measured in yourself. Okay, that's what I want to hear because everyone's different. Some people are just petrified.
Absolutely.
They believe their whole life is on the line. Others, like you said, are very mellow. Some are apathetic. They don't think it makes a difference either way.
Right.
And they just live life that way. But I think I like your style. You seem like you're measured. And good luck with the cigars.
Thank you, sir.
It's been a pleasure. So we're doing something on election anxiety. Some people are worried about it, like either way, whatever happens, and some people are cool about it. How do you feel about, do you have any anxiety or psychological reactions to the election?
No, I think that whatever happens, the government is a bit gridlock. There's a lot of gridlock going on, so
Correct.
a lot of things that people promise may take a while to happen to realize if they do.
Sure.
So I'm okay.
Okay, so either one that wins, it's okay with you.
Sure.
So you're not really invested too much in the outcome of the election.
Not this year, no.
Right, but overall, you want the country to be better.
Yeah.
If it can.
Who wouldn't want to? Yeah.
Right. What do you do for work? Well,
I work for the Bank of America.
oh, that's a good one. Okay. So Bank of America, right? So America, right?
Yeah.
So the more they deposit, the better America is, right?
You could say that, yeah.
I see. So you're pretty much easygoing. What keeps you very calm and not worried about things?
My dogs.
Really?
Just the people I'm around.
There's dog therapy involved. Do you spend a lot of time with them?
Yeah, every day. I work from home, so
Oh, wow. Okay.
We
So
can
they
spend all
provide,
the time.
what is it about, say, in our program, we talk about unconditional love, which is rare among adults, but with animals, you have it.
Yeah.
Like, you can put them in the doghouse and they still love you, right?
Yeah.
They come out. So what is it about dogs that give you that love?
Just their warmth, more than anything. Yeah, their compassion, their partnership.
Would that be nice if we had that in a real relationship?
Yeah, that would be nice, right?
Perfect. Well, nice to meet you. What's your name again?
Leo, yeah.
Have a great day.
Have a good one.
So we have a podcast, Love University. We talk about psychology of positive love and also transformation. And we're looking at something called election anxiety. Like some people are feeling anxious about the election because they identify with one of the candidates.
Oh yeah.
Now, do you have any candidate? Do you have any election anxiety or something?
I don't actually. I'm just like I was telling the other guy. Just whoever becomes president, I hope makes a good job. Because the rest of the world and the region, it just depends on their decisions.
Right.
And how they manage everything.
Okay, so you live in what country did you say?
Guatemala.
Guatemala. So this doesn't really affect you personally,
Yeah.
but in terms of world relationships, maybe it does.
Yeah.
Better or worse, right? We don't know.
Yeah.
So in your mind, that's a very cute boy, by the way.
Thank you very much.
How old is the boy?
He's 11 months.
Okay, so what kind of future do you want for him in a world where things are good?
I just want the best future for him. Future with possibilities where he can become happy, and where he can find his purpose.
Yes.
Just find his reason to be in the world.
I see. Well, that's wonderful. And he's very affectionate, right? He's already making connections.
Yes.
Maybe he'll be a politician, but a good one, right?
Let's hope
You
so.
know the phrase, you always kiss babies and shake hands.
Yeah.
As a politician. So now he's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. And what's your name again?
Carlos.
Carlos. Well, God bless you and take care.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you.
Bye-bye.
Not so much. There are moments when I feel I'm too invested.
Yes.
It's too important. And when I come away from the news, there's a level of perspective that I gain from just thinking about the outcome, be it what I want or what I don't want. And being able to rest in that because of my faith in Christ.
Ah, okay. So you're a Christian man.
Yeah, I'm a Christian. So recognizing that in the end, you believe in a God of the scriptures, that God is in control. Ultimately, God is in control. And he used men like Nero, who was, in the end, not a really good leader. But he used Pilate, who ended up crucifying Christ, but making the decision to crucify him.
Even the Pharaoh was used too.
Yeah. And it was, yes, the Jews, and it was the Gentiles as well that participated in the crucifixion of Christ, no doubt. We both.
So what you're telling me, Carl, is that you believe there's something higher in control.
Yes.
And you try not to identify too much personally with the outcome.
But to rest in the sovereignty of God, meaning that God is overseeing all of this.
Right.
He knows the outcome, and that he can work with whatever leader is in that position of power to carry out his will. He is not limited by man's will.
Right.
He stands above it.
Right.
He is one that is all powerful and loving and wanting what is best for us. But if man chooses to go against his will, then he allows such a decision.
It kind of sounds like the serenity prayer. You've heard that one. Let me change what I can, accept what I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. So basically, letting God or higher nature dictate the end result.
Yeah.
But obviously, you as a human can do certain things, right? You're not going to be lazy. Just lay on the couch.
Yeah, I'm a citizen. I'm going to participate
You'll
in
vote
the
and do-
process. Which is a great privilege on the part of us to have a free country to
In
be able
the
to.
U.S., right? To do that.
Yeah. And I am very excited about being able to participate.
Yes.
But whatever the outcome may be, on Wednesday morning,
Or longer, as you know.
or if it takes a few days or a week, like it did in the Bush era. But, just to rest in the outcome and knowing that I still have a God who's in control, who is in control now, and everything will be fine.
You're quite a man. I appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you.
Good luck in all your future endeavors.
All right. Thank you so much.
So what was your name?
Sarah.
That's Lisa. I'm Dr. Alex. So what we're doing here, we're asking people about how they're feeling about the election in terms of emotional side of things, psychological. Some people have what's called election anxiety.
Yes.
They kind of are worried about it. They have expectations. Other people are very mellow about it. So do you have any election anxiety?
Yeah, isn't it question? I feel like no, not really.
Okay. And why is that?
Because, I'm a Christian, and I believe that God is in control of everything that's happening.
That's what your dad said too.
Okay, he did raise me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think definitely there's worrisome things happening in the world right now,
Yes.
and the election is definitely one of them. But at the same time, whatever happens is in God's hands, and nothing can really change that, regardless of interference.
Yes.
It gives me a lot of peace.
Now you're a millennial, I think, or something like that.
Yes.
28. Okay.
Yeah.
So, your generation, they're voting more these days, I guess. They're more engaged, and they want to be part of the whole thing.
Totally.
Do you feel the same way? Do you want to be part of this whole thing, the voting and all that stuff?
I think yes and no. I like having conversations with people, but I don't like that it's so polarized right now, so it's hard to want to engage. Because people make assumptions about you based off of either side. So yes and no. I think I like having conversations with people one-on-one. That's
Okay, so that helps you understand a little more.
totally.
And also, we recommend that to be more active in participating because you lower your anxiety.
Yeah.
If you just think, I can't control this is out of control, this whole voting, this whole election thing,
Yeah.
then you're going to suffer more from uncertainty, anxiety. It sounds like you believe in God, higher nature, right?
Yeah.
You also believe He's in control.
Yeah.
Also, you said you talk to your friends
Totally.
about politics.
Yeah.
And you vote, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. And, but what happens after the election? Let's say one side doesn't win.
Yeah.
They probably won't be happy about it and may be mad.
Yes.
How would you deal with that?
That's a good question. Well, I think it could be a little bit exaggerated how angry people will be, but hopefully not. Not sure.
Right. Okay.
And I guess I'll just deal with that when it comes. I haven't thought that far, to be honest.
And what's your profession or what do you do?
I'm a paralegal,
Okay. So you help.
so I work in law firms.
I see.
Yeah.
So you're in the legal side of things. It's a little bit
Yes.
like politics. I guess
Yes.
it can be conflictual.
We do work with politicians, yes.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's conflictual, are you used to that in life? Like, is that something that maybe you're used to, or is it bad for you?
Yes, I think I am a little used to it in my workplace setting.
But in personal life, does someone start attacking you for your political views, or, there's disharmony?
Yes.
You could handle that okay, or would you maybe lose your mind?
Well, it's not fun, no matter what. But I think if you can stay calm in a situation and talk to someone and hear where they're coming from, it helps. Because everyone has a reason they believe what they believe. You just have to know why they came to that conclusion.
That's awesome. Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate you helping out. You and your dad have been very wonderful. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. You are?
I'm Shazara.
Bizarre. So you said the election is a little crazy. What do you mean by that?
Just like I have no idea what's going on, to be honest.
Okay, but you listen to the news. Do you feel any kind of feeling about it? Either positive or negative? You're from Australia, right?
New Zealand.
New Zealand, okay, yeah. Okay.
I don't know a lot about it. I've seen a few of the candidates. They both seem, I don't know, but
So unclear, right? Now you're from Colorado, so you're more or less can-vote.
Yeah.
I think. Do you have any anxiety about the election or any feelings about it either way?
A little bit. This is the first election I get to vote in, so it's kind of cool. But I feel like even when I was younger, you would see it like always on TV. But even now, I don't watch a second of TV. I open a YouTube video and it's like every single video I see, it's like
It's political, right?
an ad.
Yeah.
You get texts and calls all the time, if you're involved in the time. So you're kind of like not wanting to get too involved in it, psychologically.
Almost, but I took a class on like political science once, and I was like, okay, yeah, I will actually.
Oh, okay. Well, psychology. You're a psychology major, right? So psychology applies to many areas. One of them is relationships. One of them is culture. Right? It's type. And I don't know, in your country, the people vote much?
yes. I voted a few times.
So they're into the whole psychology of the voting.
Yeah,
Because you guys are the Gen Z, they call you, right? More or less.
yes.
You guys are, this year, you're more invested in here in America, they're voting more, I think, the Gen Zs.
That's good.
So it's a more positive interaction. But I think you're on the right track. Don't get too crazy about it, but do what you need to do. That was a very interesting and entertaining segment we just had. Talking to people, real people, everyday individuals who have emotional reactions to the election, positive or negative. Some of them have a lot of hope, some of them have fear, different kind of expectations. But at the very end of the day, we're all human beings, and love is the fundamental force that unites us. Loving yourself, loving others, and the higher nature. No matter what happens in big events, we can always have that power within us, the power of inner love. Get involved in this, and also to leave a comment on today's show or anything you want to talk about. You can reach us at loveuniversitylove@gmail.com. Call us at 310-226-8090. Visit us at loveuniversity.love. You can also download the podcast on Podbean, Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes. And you can follow us and like us on Facebook and Instagram at Love University Podcast. You can also follow us on Twitter at Love_U Podcast. You can subscribe to our Love University channel. The Love University students, let's go out and have a compatible week with yourself first. Love yourself, and then you can find someone who will be compatible with you and love them as well. So put away your notebooks, your iPads, your phones. Class is now dismissed. This is Dr. Avila.